If you subscribe to my channel, at some point you're going to be thinking of buying your own investment properties. Hopefully that property generates you millions of pounds. It's vitally important for you to ask yourself 8 questions. And by the way, I've just bought this property and I've got people now doing the renovation works for me. But before I actually bought this property, I had to ask myself 8 questions, and these 8 questions is what exactly I'm going to share with you in this video, so you know yourself. You can then know whether you're really ready to start your property investment strategy. So again, I'm going to share that with you so you know exactly what it is. And this property I've just bought here is going to make me tons of money only because I know those 8 questions. I was able to answer all those 8 questions, and those 8 questions is what allow me to secure a property like this that will make me tons of money. I look forward to actually sharing you all these 8 questions. And if you answer all those 8 questions, you are absolutely ready to start your property investment journey. So yeah, thanks very much. I look forward to sharing that video. So obviously, as I said to you, if you've been watching my video, you are going to buy a property at some point. I'm hoping you're not just watching my videos for entertainment. You're really watching it because you want to learn how to start and scale your property investment journey. So these are the 8 secrets you must ask yourself to know that you're ready to invest in property. But before we get going, we need to talk about what is really a rental property. What is a residential rental property? A residential rental property is a property, maybe 2 or 3 bedroom house you've bought with the intention to rent out, not to live in. Okay, you're buying the property as an investment property instead of a residential property to live in, and hopefully, if you know what you're doing, make handsome return on investment as well. As I just showed you, my property, that property will be generating me tons of money, only because I've asked myself these 8 questions before I started my property investment journey. So let's get to these actual questions so we can see if you're really ready to start your property investment journey, or actually if you're ready to take it to the next level, a little bit higher than where you are, because some of us basically we've got one property, second property, we tend to be a bit comfortable with it, but maybe it's because you don't know what these 8 questions are. Because if you know what these 8 questions are, nothing will stop you from continuing your investment. So the first question you need to know before you start your property investment journey basically is to look at yourself and understand whether you've paid down all your bad debt, right? And again, by the way, this doesn't include any student loan. Okay, again, student loan, it's a massive loan to pay, okay? And again, you got time to pay that. There's no deadline in it. I know the interest rate creep up a little bit, but you can live with your student loan debt, okay? You can live with it, you can improve on that, and then obviously pay slowly. So what I'm talking about here, I'm talking about bad debts, like maybe a debt on a car you bought that's not adding any value to you, maybe a debt you incurred because you wanted to please your missus, took her on holiday or took him on holiday, or maybe it's a debt you actually use to buy gifts to family and friends. Again, these are bad debts. So look at your finances and understand really if you've paid those debts down, because especially if they literally rocket high, basically you want to pay them first before you start an investment journey. Otherwise, one, you will struggle to keep up with the investment, and obviously there's some restriction there as well for you to be able to get a mortgage. The second secret to know before you start your investment is location. Location is very key. The reason why location is important is because that helps you identify your target market. It helps you also identify what return you could make in that location, and obviously it also helps you understand whether there's a capital appreciation in that property or in that location, because obviously location is very key. And again, when it comes to location, I'm not talking about buying property in the heart of a city center. I'm not talking about buying property in London or in these big cities. You can buy properties surrounding those big cities that can get you better return on investment, and that could make your money work a lot harder. And again, understand whether you know what you need to look for when it comes to location. The third secret is basic. Do you know the deposit that is required to buy your investment properties? And have you also set a budget to understand what the maximum amount or value of property you could buy. Suppose you want to buy property. Is it £100,000 worth of property? Is it 150? Is it £200,000 worth of property you want to buy? Property that is worth that amount. I'm not talking about a couple of properties here. So you need to know your budget, because what that helps you, basically helps you understand if you've got the 25% deposit to put down to buy that property. Say suppose the property you want to buy is £100,000, you need 25% of the £100,000, which is £25,000. So again, knowing the value of the properties you want to buy helps you determine and understand whether you've got that money ready, whether you've got the £25,000 ready. Again, you can then check your bank account, you can check your resources. You want to be resourceful as well. Even if you don't have the 100,000 or you don't have the 25,000 pounds, you can literally say, okay, I know this guy or that person, I can lend this, I can borrow that from an investor. I may be able to raise that 25,000 pounds. But again, unless you know what the value of the properties you're looking to buy is, you won't be able to determine that. So again, one of the secrets basically is to understand that amount you want to buy and understand the amount you need to put down to be able to buy that property. Again, the 25% and any legal cost on stamp duty that also comes with it. Next, the fourth secret is, are you mortgageable? Right? Are you mortgageable? Do you have the right to be able to take a loan from a bank? What do I mean by that? Because some landlords have been in the market for a very long time. They haven't bought properties for maybe a few years, and they don't know what their credit scores are. They don't know where they are in the credit pyramid. So again, you need to understand that first. You need to know whether you are mortgageable in the first instance. You need to know that. You need to check whether you've got CCJ or not. What is CCJ? CCJ is county court judgment. It's a loan or something that you haven't paid. And again, it could be as silly as a mobile phone contract. Okay, if you took a mobile phone contract and you didn't pay for the bills, or you haven't literally see out the contract, again, the actual mobile company will take you to court, and then if you don't pay the money, and then obviously they would put a CCJ on your credit file. Again, that is literally a red alert for all the lenders to say they will not lend you money. Again, you have to check that, because you may have a bill that you forgot to pay, or you have a recurring subscription that you've cancelled and you didn't realize by mistake, and they've taken you to court only to find out that basically you have a CCJ on your name. And again, check that. That's a massive secret you need to understand. I had someone approached me who started their property investment journey. They literally went and buy a property not checking whether they are mortgageable or not, only to find out they've got a CCJ on their name. And guess what? They had to back out from that deal because they cannot physically buy that property because obviously they have CCJ on their name. Again, check whether you are mortgageable. And again, obviously, if you don't have CCJ on your name, approach a mortgage broker, right? Pretend like you're buying a house. Right, give them an address of a friend's house or your house where you live in if you're renting. Give them that address. Pretend like you want to buy a house. See if you can get a decision in principle. Getting a decision in principle doesn't necessarily mean you have to go ahead with that loan. It just tells you that you're looking at your credit file and doing a soft search. They may be able to lend you money to buy a property. Okay, again, it's a very kind of common thing to do. It doesn't cost you, some instances, it doesn't cost you anything. You just ask a mortgage broker to actually do that test for you so that you can then know whether you're mortgageable or not. And the fifth secret, basically, you have to have good negotiation skills. Do you have a good negotiation skills? I'm not talking about you ranting on the seller, or literally talking about you, or in some instances, me. It's like about listening skills, understanding what the seller's perspective is, what their pain point is. Do you know how to identify things like that? And again, if you know that you are ready to buy your first investment property, again, that's one of the things, one of the secrets you need to know. Negotiation skill is a two-way thing, and it's a win-win thing. Again, you need to know whether you are ready for that. Again, I've got some videos that just about negotiation. You can literally tap into those videos, learn how you could negotiate so that you'll be able to get yourself ready for when you're actually ready to buy properties. The sixth secret is, do you know your legal obligation as a landlord? Again, you need to know things like that, right? Do you know the right of the tenant? Do you know anything about deposit? Do you know how to evict a tenant? Do you know about the contract? Again, you don't have to have holistic understanding of these things, but you have to have an idea of what it is, how to protect yourself as a landlord, and what your roles and responsibilities are, because that then allow you to have less fusion with your tenant as well. You need to know what your roles and responsibilities are. You need to know what you need to do in the property and what you don't need to do. You need to know the legal side of things as well, especially when it comes to eviction. You need to know what type of evictions are out there, when you are allowed to evict a tenant, things like that. Again, you can do a research, or actually get a mentor or a coach who can guide you along that process as well. The seventh secret is, do you know your cash flow? Do you know how to work out what your cash flow is? Do you have a base bottom profit you need to make in a property before you buy it? Again, these are the things you could learn. You need to know how much profit you need to make. For me, for example, for all my buy-to-let, family-let property, I need to be making a minimum of £300 per calendar month. If that doesn't work, I don't buy the property, because obviously I don't want it to be a rope in my neck. Again, what is your minimum profit that you take? You have to determine that before you buy a property, because that then helps you understand what sort of property you need to buy, what location you need to buy those properties, and what investment you need to put up front to be able to get a cash flow like that. And then the eighth and final secret is, do you know your ROI? Do you know your return on investment? The return on investment is the investment you make from investing money to buying a property. Okay, again, you need to know how hard your money is working. That's what the return on investment does. Again, it tells you how much benefits, how much percentage benefit you get from actually investing in a property. Again, very important for you to know that. And then when you're doing your ROI, you want to use the net profit instead of the gross profit. Okay, it's a key differences. So what your ROI is, you have to know that before you even start your property investment. Again, these are the 8 secrets you must know before you know that you're ready to invest or to buy investment properties. So again, go through this 8 secrets, look at them, tick them as you go along. Oh yeah, I've done that, I know that, I can do that, I can do a research on that. If you've got them all ticked, congratulations, you are ready to venture the property world. Go out there and conquer the property market, buy as many investment properties as possible, so that you can have recurring passive income, so you never have to worry about working for someone, so that you've got the freedom. You've got that freedom, you've got that choice, you've got that option to do whatever you want to do in life. Again, property is what allow me to be able to do that. Today I can choose to work, I can choose not to work, and I can choose to do whatever I want to do with my time. I don't have to worry to be in a certain place at a certain time. What does that for me is property. Imagine having that freedom to choose where to go, when to go, when you need to go on holiday, how you spend your time with your family. Imagine going to a cash machine, punching your PIN codes, realizing your tenant has paid you £2,000 rent, right? And you saw that money sat there and you realize, wow, this is an amazing situation to be in. Imagine then you have multiple of these properties. Say you got 5, 6, 10 properties that generate about £3,000 net profit every single month. You go, the management agents has paid you your money, it's the 31st of that month, check to your account, you've got £3,000. And then that then gives you the option, listen, do I really need to work or not, right? It gives you that benefit for not having to work, right? Again, everybody's different in terms of their expenses. Look at your expenses, work out what your expenses are, try to get properties that will substitute that expense for you. Again, property is one of the most efficient and the safest way to actually do things like that. And again, I really hope this video has been helpful. If this video has been helpful, don't forget to hit the like button below, subscribe to my channel for more amazing tutorials. And again, don't forget to share this video to friends and family, because if you share it, it helps with the algorithm, and then YouTube will share it to so many aspiring property investors. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to sharing the next video.